Hello and welcome to episode 81 of the Football Retro Podcast. I'm your host, Johnny, and today we're at our table. We've got Fatty, Akram, and Adasi. How you going, guys? How you doing, Ak?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well. It's nice to have a full table here with us today.
Usually ask Darcy how he is first.
Reply later.
Oh, okay.
Ak,
Yeah, man. Yeah.
you're all drugged up today.
Yeah, I'm all drugged up. It's good to see you, boys. Good to see you.
Missed you last week, man. What happened?
Mate, yeah, did my back in. Still in a bit of pain today, but I'm glad, if you could be here and Fatty could be here and I mean I'm glad to be here as well. I wouldn't want to miss this one. This is going to be a special episode for us. We're all gearing up, getting excited. But I gotta say, you guys, great episode last time. Love talking about the 80s football. I was so jealous, man.
Out of all episodes, you used the
Yeah, I
80s.
was so jealous.
We knew you were gonna like it. I even threw a jab in there.
Oh, you
fucking
more than one or two, but I always like it. I always enjoy it. No, it's good.
Fatty.
World Cup episode. We're gearing up. We're literally just over a week away, I think, to the World Cup. 21st. Are we starting?
9 days.
So, yeah, it's a weird one because obviously the time of year, everyone's busy with work and finishing up and Christmas rush and whatnot. So we're not really used to it. We usually have a bit more of a build up, but we're still going to enjoy it. Once it kicks off, they're going to get into that zone and get into the betting.
Yeah, look, there's
late nights, early mornings.
like you said, it's funny because Champions League draw came out. Derby's tomorrow, which is massive.
Yeah.
At the time of recording, in Australia, games are still happening in the leagues.
By Derby, you're referring to the Sydney Derby.
Sydney, Eastern Sydney versus Western Sydney. But you can't help but think about the World Cup with being only 8-9 days away from time of recording.
100%.
Such a massive event in football for all of the fans. And yet, we'll say before, the hype is not there compared to other World Cups. By this stage,
Yep.
in any other World Cup, the teams would have been together at camp, friendly games, getting ready. Teams would have been announced a couple of weeks ago. But on the contrary, because of Qatar, because of we've spoken about the choice of Qatar and the timing, we're about a week away from the World Cup and the hype, the feeling, the buzz is not there yet.
Yeah, I agree. Funny you mentioned the choice of Qatar because Sepp Blatter came out this week and said it was a mistake to give Qatar the World Cup. Like, I'm thinking to myself, motherfucker, you gave them the World Cup. It was you who gave it to them, after being paid off, and now you're saying it's a mistake. What, did you have an epiphany and now you're a fucking saint or something?
It's not an epiphany. It's like his life has gone pretty hard at the moment, and everyone's smashing him. Everyone's realizing,
yeah, but
fuck, I fucked up.
What did he do? Did he find God all of a sudden and decided to be a virtuous man now or some shit? Oh, it was a mistake to give it to. Like, go die, you cunt. Why are you still alive? You're like absolutely fucking disgusting. I'm so angry when I saw that. I'm like, what a fucking joke! Like,
Yeah, it's a harder for
after what?
right? Yeah.
You've taken the money, you've taken a fucking sweet payout, obviously, to do all that.
Maybe that's the issue though.
Yeah, but
He didn't get as much of a payout now because he got indicted, so he missed the follow through that was going to happen at the beginning.
So that's what he regrets.
He's like, damn, missed that 50%.
Yeah,
half later.
I just thought it's a bit hypocritical and fucking ironic for him to come out actually and then state that.
Honestly, I was
a mistake.
unaware of those statements. I totally agree. Like, that's awful, mate. I can't believe. Like, but that's the thing about FIFA, right? Is, as we all know, corruption. Corruption tends to.
Why do you touch me when you say that?
I don't know.
Because it's.
I think it's talking about the Argentinian
and the jersey,
maybe.
No, because it's our favorite topic, right? Conspiracy, corruption, politics. And every of these organizational bodies tend to pretend to be like the good guy in society. FIFA don't worry about that. They do not care about their image. And that's probably one of the biggest things holding football back.
Speaking of, have you watched FIFA Uncovered on Netflix?
I
haven't watched it yet.
I actually just saw it today.
I haven't watched it yet. So
Wow.
We'll get a full review out to you soon.
Interesting.
I was actually surprised. Knock on my door today, and I see a little black man wearing an Argentina jersey. I was pleasantly surprised to see Fatty
More than
supporting
pleasantly surprised, man.
the Argentinian
obviously 2014.
2014 World Cup.
That was one of your favorite World Cups, wasn't it, Johnny?
Until it got to
So yeah,
that,
fucking
yeah.
funny that.
Is that why you got it, to commemorate that very special day, very, very special goal?
No, look, I thought it was a World Cup episode. I thought I'd make Johnny happy and come here, but clearly there's an overload of fucking Argentina jerseys. So Maybe I'm mistaken. I should have worn something
It's
else.
a World Cup. National jerseys. I don't have any other ones to provide.
Didn't you just have the Netherlands jersey?
We used the last time.
Oh, can't do it
So-
again. 2 weeks in a row, guys.
Yeah.
Never seen Maradona here 2 weeks in a row, right?
Speaking of Gotze, apparently he's
Selected.
he got fucking made it to the fucking
100%.
Germany squad.
He's got one mission there. He's got one goal.
He already scored the fucking one goal he
Is that,
had.
is that a pun or
No, he's going to score one more, mate.
one more?
Tony, you were in a good mood 5 minutes ago.
So today's episode, it's a World Cup. Everything World Cup. Squad selections and most important predictions. Who's leaving the group? Who's making all the way to the end? Who's going to win it according to us? Let's make some bold predictions. Should we get started or should we wait for Dusty to find the World Cup?
I thought we already started.
I don't know, man. I have messaged him and he goes 2 minutes. So what do you think? Do you want to start? You know, maybe with the groups and then let him catch up.
Let's get started.
Welcome to the Football Retro Podcast.
The word welcome, I guess, is stretching it a little when you're an Australian in a place like this today.
Welcome back. Still no Dusty, by the way.
How long were
He's
we
on
waiting?
route two.
We were on pause there for about 37 minutes and he still hasn't come. That was a long pause.
What's the time? Like 9:45?
He's the one that pushed for the time. So this episode's all about giving a Dusty shit.
Welcome, Adasi.
Now, we're going to go group by group to see who's going to be making out of the World Cup. Before we get into that, a couple of episodes ago, we spoke about injuries. Funnily enough,
Yep.
players that missed out on injuries. And since then, some big names and some important names. Sometimes not big names, but sometimes important names that are missing out on the World Cup now.
What does that mean? If it's a big name, isn't it important? If it's important, isn't it a big
I'm
name?
thinking Lo Celso, for example, Argentina. It's not a big name, it's not a
But it
superstar,
could be crucial.
but it's a
tactically.
very important, it's a starting 11, very important fixed midfield in Argentina.
But if
That's
it's
playing off
important
the
to
heart.
Argentina, that means he'd be big in Argentina.
Not big name
Necessarily
worldwide.
to-
Big name
especially
worldwide.
as an
Yeah, but
Argentinian player.
what are you comparing it to, like a Messi? Different.
Is Lo Celso a superstar of the World Cup?
No, but he does play
If,
for
they,
Argentina.
if Neymar got injured, different story. Mane, for example, Sadio Mane, he's a bigger name than Lo Celso.
He's got really stressful, really quick.
Yeah, I
really,
get that.
Speaking of,
Wow.
he made it.
We started. We're about to end. We've
We've done the
We're
intro
about to
already.
We're about to end the Darcy, man.
We're live on air.
We've got the
For
intro.
those wondering what's going on, Darcy just walked in to join us with his Socceroos scarf. Here he is.
Welcome. The World Cup
I
thing.
just wanted to make Johnny happy because I knew he was already jilted.
He was
the
already
laugh.
It's,
upset.
I don't know you, but it's very unprofessional. What do you think?
You know what? Especially because the appointment was set by the party in question, and
Oh,
yeah, I know. I mean, that's what's commitment, right?
Wow.
It's, you know, I want to be here.
I genuinely thought we'll have a reserved sort of embarrassed
Version of Darcy, yeah.
downtrodden Darcy, and it comes in guns blazing.
Oh, take a pick. Andy Carroll.
That was,
Here we go.
I'm fired up today.
He's like,
did you have a feeling that we were already going to start without you? Yeah,
We're
we are.
recording. We're recording.
you haven't greeted the people.
He's right.
Greet your fans.
No wonder he was fired up because he didn't think it was rolling.
Good, I like
Cool.
And anyways, I was saying, Lo Celso is not a superstar. Mane is a bigger miss than Lo Celso, but for me, for example, knowing the Argentine squad is a big loss. That's what I meant, but not important names or big names.
We're splitting hairs now. I was picking
Yeah,
up definition, but anyway.
Anyway, to catch you up, we're talking about the 2022 World Cup.
So the players you're mentioning, talk about injuries, right?
Yeah.
A lot of them, actually.
So we got Mane.
Since we
The-
last spoke.
Yeah. Mane, obviously German Timo Werner.
Yeah.
Not there.
Mhm.
There's quite a few names. England had a fair bit.
We spoke about the French, obviously missing the midfield Kante, Pogba.
Yeah, I had a look at that France squad the other day. Actually, I was looking through the list, and their midfield looks very light now. It looks very, very light. Like when your midfield's anchored down, you've got the Chalmeni and fucking Guendouzi. I'm like, it's
Yeah.
not the same. It's not the
A few
same.
years ago,
Yeah.
people in France
Well,
was talked
Rabiot.
about being sorry, you're
Rabiot.
Yeah, Rabiot, like
Yeah, Rabiot, yeah, of course. It was just a few years ago where, France was talked about as being, an embarrassment of talent and depth. And now, those two players, all of a sudden that midfield looks pretty shallow.
attacking wise, different story attacking wise, but
Should remind Michael Royce as well, injured ankle.
Oh, that guy has to be very unlucky. He's like his fourth
major tournament he's missed out.
Mm.
He only played in the 2018 World Cup. He missed out 2 Euros, 2014 World Cup where they won it. Very unlucky, and then this one as well.
So who got the call up instead?
Your arch nemesis. I couldn't believe it. I saw the team list last night, and then Mario Götze, 5 years since he played in the German
I
team.
was going to say he's been away for a while.
I thought his career was going to come to an end. He had health issues, and he's just winding down his career. But it seems he's had a good season with Frankfurt.
Yeah, little dick.
Take him
on
as
his fucking yacht.
a lucky charm, maybe.
Off
Well,
the
it worked
bench.
last time, so
Wow.
Big call, and no
He was
Tony
having
Tony Cruz as well.
I thought
He's
this had a
retired,
goal.
by the
He retired.
And there actually was calls.
Oh, that's 2014. Doesn't have a
There was calls for Cruz to come back, but he said, "No, I'm happy the way I am."
Really?
Yeah. He said, "No, I'm happy."
So they
He's
thought-
retired.
But got to pick the other guy.
Wow.
That's it.
he had to change it into something positive at least for him.
That's going to be his link now to Götze.
Yeah.
Always.
So the other guy was on cruise control. So
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Let's just end it here.
Yeah.
guys.
any other major injuries you want to talk about before we jump into the groups?
England, Reece James out. Had a few others.
Kyle Walker.
Yeah. Oh no, he's in. I think.
He's in.
Yeah, and believe it, Harry Maguire, not injured, but he's in the squad still.
I thought Trent was out as well, but I saw the list and he's in.
He's in. Yeah, he must have just come back, or he's coming back. From
No, he
injury.
played against Napoli.
Yeah, so he's just come back then.
So
Going back to France for a quick sec, we were talking before that maybe Varane was out. It's not that he's out, but he is injured, and he's expected to be healthy by the first game.
they've taken him in the squad.
They're taking him in the squad, but yeah, it's still a big question mark though, because
Yeah.
he's going to be working for fitness all the way up into that first game.
I
Yeah.
was thinking names: Diogo Jota for Portugal out.
There you go.
Firmino didn't make Brazil squad. This is a big talking point as well.
Who would you take out though from that attack?
Richarlison.
Yeah. I would. I find him average.
If you pick the one between, we'll talk about this before recording. Out of the three names, Jesus, Richarlison, and Firmino, if you could take one out and pick two, I'll take Richarlison out.
Same. I find him above average. To be honest, I don't
So,
find anything
For
special.
me, it's not just about a matter of talent, but it's playing style. Like you don't have someone who's used. Firmino is used to playing alongside two elite attackers who can score the vast quantity of goals. He knows how to be unselfish, and he presses really high up.
That's actually a very good point.
Neymar's
He
not gonna
doesn't
press.
know how to play with two gun strikers, and he knows how to be unselfish and provide as well as scoring.
Neymar's not going to press. Vinicius is not going to press. Like you do need in this day and age at least one player, whether in the starting lineup or on the bench, who can get out there in the attacking line and press the defense.
In saying that, Richarlison plays with Kane and Son, which is probably the best attacking duo in football today.
You know what? You got a point there, Johnny. I'm sorry about that, mate. Sorry about that.
Kane, fucking buckets with dog. Fucking Kane.
Before,
Hope England flop.
Favorites to be the Golden Boot for the World Cup.
Yeah,
so
and
penalties-
do what? And
penalties.
make it to the quarterfinals and go out.
Before we
Fancy
jump
coming home.
into the group, another interesting thing about this World Cup. Last World Cup, possibly for Messi, Cristiano, Lewandowski, Neuer, Suarez.
Apparently for Neymar as well.
Modric.
Apparently,
Quite possibly.
Ronaldo.
apparently what I'm
He said
reading,
this could very well be his last.
what I'm reading is it's his last World Cup.
Already?
Yeah. How old is he now?
He's
Is he
30.
32?
30.
No, he's 30.
30.
But he said just regardless, I think he's done.
Wow.
Well, I probably worried that he's going to start to tail off and actually get pushed out rather than step out on his own.
That's a big call. So this a big World Cup in that sense. A lot of big
Yeah.
names.
It's a changing of the guard.
Yeah,
I think.
100%.
A lot of players
Generation.
Change of an era,
one last hurrah. So,
We've seen these
Yeah.
players for the past at least 10, 15 years.
You're right
so
there with the scarf, man. It looks
Yeah,
like
I'm
choking you
good-
a
I'm
good,
good,
man.
yeah.
So,
And the ones that
It's
we-
actually extra for everyone watching. It's like 37 degrees in this room. We're all fucking cooking.
and the ones we haven't even thought of, like Godin last World Cup,
Yeah,
Cavani
Godin,
last
yeah,
World
yeah,
Cup,
yeah.
Otamendi
Godin-
last World Cup.
But then his last World Cup was 4 World Cups ago. How old is this guy?
yeah, he's been around for a while.
Speaking of Mueller,
Someone
yeah.
smaller. Yeah, he's
Same shit.
if he gets on a run of goals, he could be close or to break Miroslav Klose's record.
I see what he did there.
Yeah, it's not
close.
close.
Oh,
There you go.
Yeah.
He'd be close to getting the record.
Here's another one. Muller. He looks like he's been 31 for 12 years.
Yeah.
It hasn't changed. His age has been the same.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on there? He drinks kids' blood. That's why he's been playing with baby's blood. Fucking stays young.
Germans.
Must be.
All right. So Darcy, who's in Group A?
Oh, no, for groups. No.
I was going to talk
Yeah.
about the Socceroos squad that got named.
You want to talk about that now, or when we get to the
Oh, I
group?
can get to it.
We'll get to the group.
Because it's a very interesting point for Socceroos. A few talking points. The
There
Socceroos
are a few
selection.
talking points.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm actually annoyed about a few, but we'll get to it.
Go to it now.
We'll
Go
get
to it now.
to
Go
it.
to it now.
We'll get to it.
You're noise. I want to hear. I want to hear it. What's number one annoying?
Number one annoying is Graham Arnold's squad selection has been fucking shit. I feel like the way he's gone about it has been very, very poor. There's a lot recently come out in the media, especially chasing Christian Volpato, the young Australian who's gone to Italy, and now his allegiance is technically to Italy. He hasn't been capped by anyone yet. He's played Italy under 20s, which technically doesn't count.
Mhm.
You can still play for any national team. It's only when you get a senior cap. Is it one senior cap, or you have to get two? Or
One
three?
official.
Okay.
Can't be a friendly.
So apparently Graham Arnold's been trying to pursue him last minute and beg him to join the squad. Apparently, I've already named him the squad before I even spoke to him. It seems a bit disingenuous. I don't know the way Arnold goes about it. Just I don't
Cover
like
himself, you reckon?
it. Yeah, I think it is. It's just trying to look like he's done something. That's one. Two, a lot of glaring omissions. Trent Sainsbury.
His son-in-law.
Before we move on to that, Volpato, if you were the player, do you agree with him? Do you disagree?
I don't disagree with Volpato's decision at all. If I was Volpato, I wouldn't take Graham Arnold's call just for the sake, because in that interaction, it's an exchange, right? Someone's got to be giving something. Both people have got to be getting something out of it. I feel like Australia would get more than he would out of that interaction.
Possibly.
So I feel like he'd
Yeah,
be
no, no.
losing.
Look, I spoke to someone close to the source. I spoke to someone close to the player. He hasn't ruled out Australia completely. It's just not the time now to
He's
make that
18.
choice.
He's 18.
Still
And I
very
think
He's still young. So if
Sure.
he didn't say no to the Australian squad, he just said not yet, not now.
and that's fair, because by the time the next World Cup rolls around, he'll be 22. So I think that's totally fine.
At this rate, do you think he'll be good enough to make the Azzurri? He's got
At
that
least
talent.
the way he's showing, but it's
yes,
but it's still
Yeah,
very
still-
early. Still early
He's
days.
still
very
got
early.
time on his side. I mean,
Who knows?
yeah.
But I feel like Arnold was just clutching at straws. That's what that's how it appeared to
Yeah.
me, and that's what frustrated me.
All right, Sainsbury.
Sainsbury's a big omission for me. The guy's proven himself. He's a solid defender. We need experience at the back. Harry Suter, I'm never a fan of him. He just takes it for his height. The guy's cumbersome and slow. He's only big because he's only there because he's big and it's good in the air.
Set
But
pieces.
he's also come back from injury. He hasn't played. He's been injured. He is just recovered from injury, taking him straight into the squad.
What's that? Has been a reason as to why?
No, he hasn't justified anything.
And from what I heard, Graham Arnold is Sainsbury's father-in-law.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
If my father-in-law didn't pick me to go to the World Cup, I would let him see his grandkids.
That's fair. That's fair. That's a big
You're
omission.
cut off. You cut me off. I'll cut you off.
Fair enough, but-
But did he do that on purpose to try and show that, like, I'm being, impartial
letting
and I'm not
family
being
ties
biased
get
and
him.
sort of shit?
Not letting family
Nah,
ties get in the way.
bullshit.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah,
I
interesting.
don't agree with that. I think we're going to struggle at the back. Suter and that are very, very slow. The guy turns like a fucking bus. So we're going to be very, very exposed. We're not up
Depends how you play as
slouch
well.
teams.
If you play the Dutch system that I've been trying to implement here for a while, you'll struggle. If you play the way you played against Peru, where it's compact with the typical Aussie way, then you might be doing better.
I don't
But
know.
question for you, Rogic.
Rogic is a huge one for me. From my understanding, Rogic pulled out of the national team a while ago.
For personal reasons for a certain
Yeah.
series of games.
But coming up to this World Cup, there's a lot of talk that he made himself available. So for me, even if he's not playing enough, he has enough game time. I don't know what his personal circumstances are, but for me, Rogic is someone that can change a game, has experience, has the quality, regardless of you been playing or not. If you've got the quality, you can come on, even if you come on for 10 minutes or 15
Change the
minutes,
game,
you can
impact.
still do something. It'll be
Yeah.
impact.
As an impact player.
We're kind of thin
Australia's
on
midfield is fucking light. With the exception of Aaron Moy, there's no real player there that has any sort of experience. Yes, they're playing their club football. Jackson Irvines and Keanu Backuses, but all lower tier European in England. Backus is in Scotland, sorry. Irvine is in, what is he, second division England?
Not sure.
Something like that. So all lower tier, not ready, not for a World Cup. Why wouldn't you take someone like Rogic who's done it at the highest level
And we keep saying
consistently?
on the show, like, it's just not the same as the golden generation, where we were playing at top level leagues,
Yeah.
decent clubs, good quality as well, well coached. I don't know. I'm not sure what the chances are of them getting out of the group.
There's another one as well, Mitch Lengerak,
Massive.
goalkeeper. That's a huge omission for me. I don't know what fucking Arnold's reasoning is, but even if he is not your first choice,
Who'd you take out?
the man is fucking experienced. You take him to camp.
Vukovic.
You take him to camp. Danny Vukovic should
Yeah.
not be in that fucking squad. I'm sorry.
So when you look at all the selections that the coaches made throughout the lineup, would you say that there's some kind of common pattern there? Is he trying to pick further towards youth?
It seems
Is
that
he
it seems
for
that
the 2026 World Cup?
it
as
seems
much as
no. It seems that he's picking. It seems that he's picking players that are playing regularly. That's it.
and that's it. And then
That's
like
it.
regardless of
Because there's a lot of players there that are not young.
yeah,
not
yeah,
young
yeah,
enough.
Playing regularly, but at the same time,
Once I
young
pick him there.
17-year-old Qual, he's not a starter for Mariners,
Ah.
and yet he's got selected for a World Cup
Yeah, because there's a lot of hype around him. People are
because of the
talking.
Newcastle
Oh,
signing.
he's signed a
Yeah.
pre-contract with Newcastle United in England.
But in your opinion, 17-year-old coming off the bench for Mariners, is he ready for a World Cup?
Look, he's a fellow countryman, he's Sudanese. I would encourage that, and I'd say fantastic. He should go there, and he should have a great career and progress. And good on him for signing for Newcastle.
Yeah.
He's 17.
Yeah.
I know the older adage is that if you're good enough, you're old enough. But
yeah.
But the
I
thing
feel
is-
like, especially it could either be fantastic for him personally. It's not going to be fantastic for Australia because it's not going to do anything for us. It's either going to be a great experience for him and propel him in his career, or it's going to absolutely damage him.
well, he's probably there for the experience, probably as well.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
even if they're not going to get game time, just to be part of the camp.
But at 17-year-old, you
You're
want to take
taking someone
you want
else's
to take
spot.
the best players
Yeah,
available.
I don't know if he's going to use some of that.
How many are you taking the squad? 25?
26 now.
26. So like I think the point Johnny and Fatty are trying to make is those spots are at a premium. So yeah, you bring someone for the experience, but you're not a Brazil. It is a given. You're going to be in contendership every World Cup, and you'll think about 2026. For Australia, you got to think about this World Cup and put everything into it. And I think the point that Johnny was alluding to just now was, you're saying that the overall plan is to select players based on who's playing regularly,
It appears
but
that way.
he's changed
not.
he's changed his method for certain
Maybe an
players,
exception.
but then at the same time not for players that are necessarily at a higher level, experience, good for the locker room. So it's like, well, where's your exceptions? You only make an exception for a 17-year-old, but not for yeah.
It just seems that his selection was very haphazard. Like it's not.
haphazard. Yeah.
There's no system to it. It doesn't make sense. There's no like, oh well, he sticks with youth, so that's why, or he sticks with
older players
consistency
or
whatever
form or
Yeah,
anything like that. It's haphazard, like you said. Yeah.
All right, let's jump into the groups.
So fuck you, Grant Arnold.
Group
Nice sign off then.
Group A, Darcy.
Hosts Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and Netherlands.
Did you sit and memorize this or what?
It's one of these things that just sticks.
One of the bro. What are you angry now? It's one of these things. Like it's just like breathing. Like
With this
Well,
little
no,
scarf in your
Knowing the groups by now.
Like I know some of them because of the World Cup sticker album, but not all of them.
like it's like breathing. It just happens involuntarily.
disrespect. He's also put an argument. You should know by
I
now.
used to wake up for the draw and get a pen and paper, write the groups down.
So Qatar is the only team to be making a debut in a World Cup this tournament.
Yeah, they are, as far as I know. As for them, the main thing for them is they've got to be competitive.
Well, they bought their way into the World
Well,
Cup, so
They've got to
I mean, they
try.
buy their way through the World Cup. So.
I think their aim is to just be competitive, putting some decent performances out there, and whatever they get, first goal, first draw, first victory is an achievement.
my prediction to finish last in the group.
Yeah.
They're going to be
Yeah.
look. I don't think they're going to get slapped. I think they'll be a very plucky team, but it's
Plucky.
not, yeah.
Plucky.
Yeah.
He's in with the words that haphazard, plucky.
Their key games, Ecuador, the first game, obviously everyone watching. They got to, see if we can get anything from that, but I don't know.
So predictions for the group, first to fourth.
I think Netherlands and Ecuador.
So Senegal, Qatar.
Yeah, I don't know. Senegal, they got quality. They're an exciting team to watch, but with Mane out, it's a big loss for them. And African teams kind of, tend to just not buckle, but
just fucking-
brain explosions.
I'm gonna agree with you.
You reckon Ecuador as well?
I'm gonna agree with you on the standings.
I agree as well. I mean, Sadio Mane, especially because Bayern has just come, recently right into form,
Yeah,
and Sadio Mane is finally starting to show quality.
yeah.
It's been an awful time for him to get injured,
Yeah.
and I think at this close to the World Cup, 9 days out, I think it's pretty much an awful way to start your campaign. So yeah, I could see Senegal coming third.
Yeah, such a shame. Would've
I
been a good
agree.
team.
But if Mane was fit, I would have said he would have carried him. They could have scraped second.
Yeah.
They would have
Agree.
fought Ecuador for that spot. The Netherlands have enough quality to see that group out comfortably.
Netherlands are going to be really interesting this year. What was it, last World Cup they didn't make? And I
In
feel like
2014, they were
Semi-finalists.
yeah, but the last couple of years, like if this conversation was happening in 2019, 2020, I would have said that, Netherlands, I was a little bit more optimistic for their chances. The elite was still this really young, exciting centre back. Frankie de Jong was still, this Ajax imports were coming out, but the elite has shown not to be that as elite of a centre back as we would hope he was going to be.
See,
not-
they're
he's not
gonna
a
be
new
quiet.
player.
They're going to be quiet. The hype
quiet.
has burnt off.
The
a little.
hype's, yeah.
Look,
the hype
in the
has to-
discussion of World Cup winners, for some reason, Holland never seems to come up in those discussions. Who's your favourite? Who's going to make it? Who's going to be close?
It was different though, like 20 years ago. That's the thing.
The
It was like-
quality is not the same as it
Yeah.
was before.
No, it's not. It's definitely not the same quality. I personally, I'm a Holland fan.
Yeah.
I would love for them to actually do something. I personally can't see them.
Much,
It
right?
depends who
Quarterfinals?
it depends who they come up against in the round of 16.
Yeah.
They may get through
Round of
if they have a good game.
Put you round at 16,
Well, let's-
quarterfinals, I reckon.
Let's do that now. Group B.
England, Wales, USA, Iran.
That sounds like a fucking NATO
Yeah,
meeting.
there's going to be a lot of political backdrop on that group. But,
Fucking hell.
So my prediction: England, USA, Wales, Iran.
USA will get ahead of Wales. I reckon.
Wow.
I think so too.
I think
As a New Yorker,
yeah.
I wanted to.
As a New fan. Give us an accent, Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it's possible. I mean,
Uh,
USA back in the World Cup after missing out 2018. They've got a couple of exciting players, Christian Pulisic being one of them. So
Oh yeah. McTominay, Weston McKennie, like they got some talent.
McTominay.
McTominay, Scottish man.
Oh, that's right. No, sorry. Who's this? Who's
McKennie.
McKennie.
McKennie,
Sorry.
McTominay.
McKennie. Yeah.
The
That would have given it was a big giveaway.
That answers your question. So if USA finish second and Holland finish first as each other,
So I would say Holland quarterfinalists.
But if England just decide to have they tend to slip up here and there, they could play Netherlands. And,
Interesting thing about England, no for Fikayo Tomori and no Tammy Abraham, and yet they're brought in Harry Maguire.
For different positions. I mean,
No, but Tomori said about it.
yeah. Why just throw Tammy Abraham in there?
Because like Tammy Abraham last season
Who would
was
you take
scored
out?
over 20 goals. Oh, for attacker, I don't know, but I do know like for me.
Did
for
Sterling
Tomori-
make the squad?
I'm not sure, but the English.
But
squad.
would you say is that
Was-
because English players aren't really respected because they play outside the Premier League that they don't get?
I know that only one player from the English squad plays outside the Premier League, which is Bellingham.
Bellingham.
Yeah, you'd
Yeah.
hope he'd been. He's having a pretty good season, but I've noticed that players are playing outside of England. English players that they kind of get discarded a lot
Yeah.
for playing
Well,
outside.
Yeah.
Tomori was
This
one of
is-
the best
but
centre
that's-
backs last year for Serie A.
But you're right. That's been a trend for a very long time. The English usually only like to take players that they can watch in their own league. It's very biased.
Yeah.
Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Harry Kane, James Maddison, Rashford, Saka from Arsenal, Sterling, and Callum Wilson from Newcastle United.
I'm sorry, but yeah, Tammy Abraham over Callum Wilson. He scored over 20 goals in Serie A last year.
Wilson's, don't get me wrong, he's on form, but
No,
You're right.
I'd take out what's his name?
Harry Kane.
Madison,
Yeah, Madison. Fuck.
reckon
Is it Everton?
Leicester.
Leicester.
Yeah, he's having an all right season, but without him, they'd be like doing worse.
Like it doesn't
Uh,
fill me with anything. Like
But even Jack
doesn't-
Grealish hasn't been.
doesn't. Yeah, Grealish be quiet.
The argument from the manager was that Tammy Abraham's kind of dropped form at the the wrong spot for him, and yet like I said at the same time they've put in Harry Maguire over Fikayo Tomori, which I can't believe. Tomori's been
Yes.
an outstanding centre back for Milan.
Southgate's been under fire for his squad selections as well. People have been fucking losing at him, and it doesn't make sense. Like I was saying, they do focus heavily on picking players only from the Premier League,
Yeah.
unless it's an exceptional player outside of the league.
Yeah.
They're very biased. The English are very biased. They
To the Prem.
they feel like the Premier League is the best league, and it's got to be only from there. Even if they're playing at a lower level club in the Premier League,
Don't
and
take that
someone's
over.
playing at Dortmund, for example, they won't.
Oh, in this case, AC Milan. Man.
So what are your predictions? Agreeing with me? Disagree?
Yeah, I think England and USA. I reckon they'll get past Wales, even though they've got Wales with Bale and Ramsey there and Joe Allen experience there. But
Agree, disagree?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree.
Agree, disagree?
I disagree.
for
I
Europe?
think I think
Wales?
I think Wales will pip
Okay.
America. I think the Americans they're okay, but they have their years here and there, but they don't have anything special really. Who knows? I haven't seen much of them recently. I think Wales more of a team camaraderie sort of thing with Bale. They sort of seem to fight for him. They fight hard, the Welsh, and especially the game against England will be a big one for them.
Battle of Britain.
Yeah, so I feel like they'll
Yeah,
make
it's gonna be interesting. Hey, Battle of Britain,
Yeah.
and then America, Iran.
But
Battle of Oil.
Battle Royal.
you've got Iran. The key player for them is Mehdi Taremi, plays for Porto. He's been scoring a fair bit of goals for them, so they're going to rely on him.
Do you reckon Joe Biden's going to be at that game?
That's
Yeah.
You think of the US.
I had a wrong sport. Sorry, touchdown.
Where am I? Where do I go? Here?
But you think of USA versus Iran, look at that fixture, flashback straight to France 98. Play,
Yes.
And that fair play.
Straight away, mate.
Fair play.
And they all got photos together. And
What a fucking ass licking that was.
All right,
That's
group,
not political ass licking. I don't know what it is.
group C. Madasi.
you know this group off by heart.
I do, but you're the man here.
You know.
Why does he know this group up by heart?
Argentina,
He's
Mexico,
And
Poland,
Saudi Arabia.
and your mates.
Saudis. Yeah.
Saudi Arabia.
All eyes, Argentina versus Saudi.
Tuesday night here.
I predict Argentina 4-0 that game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a very confident.
I'm not that
prediction.
confident.
I think the Saudis will buckle against.
I wonder what that's
stronger-
paying. Let's have a look.
I don't know. I just think just from going from
I
precedent
think it'll be worth trying some
Past results
That's the
against
same.
not-
Fucking-
out when they play out against teams.
Isn't the Saudi captain injured as well?
Yeah, from what I heard. So I think first game, I think all eyes on them. They're going to just buckle.
So predictions on how this group's going to finish.
Argentina, Mexico.
I was
Who's
going
the
to say
rest, who's the rest of the teams?
I was gonna say
Argentina, Mexico.
Mexico, Poland, Saudi Arabia. I was going to say Argentina, Poland.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I've seen Mexico play leading to the World Cup and haven't been very. Martinez a great coach, but they've been underperforming. Poland, I think, could be a bit of a dark horse here. Lewandowski qualifying out of Europe is not easy. So
I'm really liking the centre back from Mexico. Plays for Man United. All of a sudden came into form now. Lisandro Martinez.
he's Argentinian.
Argentina.
What?
He's Argentinian.
Lisandro Martinez. Oh shit.
That's you're right. He's in form, but
Yeah. He's in form.
Guys, I apologize. Any Hispanics? So they're not to the US. They're all Mexicans. The Americans over here.
Just for those who are curious about that scoreline, so Argentina 4-0 is paying $10. Paying $10.
He's a gambling man. So
I'm just going on past history.
How much would you like to put on that $10 bet?
Uh,
All I'm going to say is that seems very confident. So it's going to be a loan shark call. $1 million on a $10 bet.
Mate, trust me, seeing the Saudis in past World Cups against stronger teams, they tend
that was
to
20 years ago.
still. Like 4 years ago in Russia, opening game was 5-0. There you go.
How do they still make it?
Asia. But I think Mexico, the question about them,
They're always strong in Asia, Saudis. Always strong in
but when it
Asia.
comes to European
When it comes to
teams,
Europe, they can't
they
play.
can't. And but with Mexico, the question is, if they get part in through the group, can they make it past the round of 16? Every World Cup since 1990, they've not got past the round of 16.
What a stat!
They just can't get past that stage.
What a fucking
So-
stat!
Can they do
Predictions
it?
for you.
For me, Argentina should coast that group comfortably. Should be 9 points, no question.
Yeah.
And I don't know how Poland's going to fare. Poland's hot and cold. They're very reliant on fucking Lewandowski. A couple of other players, but I don't know. I don't see anything special at Mexico. I think Poland scraped second.
It's a tough one, Poland, Mexico.
The Saudis flop. Saudis with 3 losses straight.
I've been 50-50 on this. I'm thinking Poland though.
So we'll agree.
I said
I'll say
Mexico.
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 Next group, the Aussies.
Yes, this is like 2018. France, Aussies, Denmark, and Tunisia.
Obviously, I think everyone will say French to top the group.
I mean,
And this becomes
I think so.
yeah.
you know what? I think France Denmark is going to be an interesting game. I think France is going to struggle against Denmark.
Do we think
Very, very difficult
do
game.
we
If they do
think-
win, it'll be a very, very low, very tight game.
the Aussies have any chance at all to get out of the group?
No,
Not this time. No.
not with France and Denmark.
I'm a little bit more confident than you guys are.
I'm not putting it at 0%.
I'm not saying yes, it's going to happen, but I have a bit of hope.
The only reason, sorry, Fadu, the only reason is because do we see a massive French meltdown? It's unlikely, but I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. Without Kante, Pogba, like for all the negative things that get said about Pogba for Man United, he's a good leader in the French locker room. With the evolution that we've seen of Mbappe's character over the last few years, you know, and to be honest, in that French lineup, who do you really trust right now? Benzema.
Yeah, but it's not
you got
that. I think
Mbappe. What? Who?
technically and physically,
It's
the French players, no matter who goes in there, are going to be quicker, stronger.
I think
more
I think, I
talented.
think I think we're focusing on the wrong thing. Forget the French game. Can we get a result against Denmark and Tunisia?
The
No,
key game's Tunisia, the second one.
I don't agree.
That's the key game they got
To me, both. Denmark.
I think we're more suited to playing Denmark and possibly trying to get a result there or get a draw than Tunisia. Tunisia, we will underestimate, and the Tunisians are going to surprise a lot of people.
And they're very defensive. They're strong
The
defensively.
Tunisians are going to surprise a lot of people. We don't have the creativity up front to unlock a very
tough defense.
a team that knows that they're going to be
Who's
to
gonna
need
fight
to
the
play
bus
like
and-
that.
yeah, yeah.
But you're saying
We don't have that
French
confidence.
lost, Denmark lost, Tunisia draw for the Socceroos.
I don't even think we're going to draw Tunisia. To be
Wow.
honest, I think if anything, we may get a draw from Denmark.
All right, so everyone's saying France and Denmark to go through.
I think France, Tunisia. I think
Oh,
Tunisia
wow.
might.
That's a big
Scrap
ball.
them.
How much? How much is paying for Tunisia to leave the group?
Here we go. Let's see.
Showing the size of your balls there, eh, Darcy?
The spanner in the works.
Mm.
I'm thinking
Interesting.
we're going to have to hark back to
Let's
this,
go.
man.
Group-
'Cause that's a
what
big
group
ass score.
was it? Group
Darcy.
C?
D.
D.
That's a big part of this. So once the World Cup finishes and the games go on,
We'll
we'll
see
see how wrong and how right we were.
100%.
Group E, Darcy.
This one's Spain, Germany, and Costa Rica, Japan. So
Fuck this guy. What? What's going on, bro?
That's why he was late today, man. He was getting some last minute study.
Okay. To me, this sounds pretty obvious.
Mhm.
From the outside, I think it's pretty obvious that Spain and Germany will go
Sorry,
through.
just to give you that. Tunisia to qualify from Group D, not to finish, just to qualify, $6.
In a multi with Argentina 4-0 against Saudi Arabia.
That's $60. Put a cheeky million on it.
At least
You guys
10,000.
are
You're
the-
Australia's newest
You're the gamblers.
multi-millionaire.
You guys.
At least 10,000.
You guys
So just to clarify here, the groups: France are favourites, $1.05. Denmark $1.20. Australia at $4. Tunisia are the least
oh wow.
favoured to get out of the group.
Poland and Mexico, who's more?
Let's have a look.
That'll be interesting.
Group C. Argentina favourites at $1.36. Mexico and Poland evens, $5.50.
There we go.
That's a close one. Yeah.
Saudi Arabia $26, cheeky
Yeah.
$50 on that.
All right. Spain and Germany for me to go through. I can't see anything else happening here.
I think Germany will top the group.
Really?
Yeah, I think Germany will get ahead
Okay.
of Spain. Japan.
Sorry, that's a. We'll get to the next group. Once we get to the next group, I'll say why that's a big thing because it depends who finishes first and second.
Exactly.
It
Yeah.
depends who finishes who plays against the guys in Group F. But let's talk about Spain and Germany.
Yeah, I think Germany will top that one. Yeah, Spain, I think, is still going through transition, obviously, from that. Those great years they had from 2008 to 2012. New talent coming through there. I really like to see Japan do well.
See, I believe Spain overall are more favourites than Germany to win the World Cup.
Can I ask who's
No.
really
I've got into
Spain's,
beds.
who's Spain's striker now? Who's playing up front?
And
That's a big
Ferran
flaw.
Torres,
yeah.
and
because
Morata.
really the last World Cup
Euro?
Euro.
Yeah.
We saw Spain really struggle with the
Yep.
number 9. Morata was in there, and he scored a couple of goals. And that Croatia game, he scored. All right, fuck, okay, but he's not someone to rely on. I don't see him carrying that, shouldering that burden up front on his own.
It's very consistent.
Ferran Torres, I don't know. Is he going to be able to do it on that stage? I'm not too sure.
So who's favourites in the?
Spain are just favourites to qualify top of the group at $1.90, and Germany at $2. So it's very close.
I think Germany are getting some form back with Hansi Flick as coach. He's got them disciplined
Yeah.
again, got some good results. They lost Timo Werner, but they still got a strong attack. And they've got, the Bayern attack of Muller, Gnabry, and Leroy Sané as well. He's coming into form now.
You got the usual suspects in
Yeah.
Gnabry, Sane, all them. Like I totally agree. You got quality up and down the pitch.
Yeah.
For me, I'm excited by players like Jamal Musiala.
Musiala, yeah,
You
forgot about him too.
real talent coming through in the Bayern Munich side. And we always think Germany's not going to do as well as they do. It's the German squad. They're gonna get in there, and they are overload of talent. Just a few episodes ago, we were talking about the best defensive midfielder in the world. Your little journal articles you like to bring up, man. Kimmich was considered best defensive midfielder in the world. You got Goretzka, you got talent up and down.
Gundogan as well. Good player.
Yeah, and this is going to be like you said, last World Cups for Neuer, for Muller, so they're going to be extra motivated as well.
Look, Germany's one of those teams. It doesn't matter who's in the squad. It's a World Cup, and they're
Yeah.
going to do well.
And they want to just bounce back after 4 years debacle as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Germans will top that group.
Yeah.
And
It's-
Spain second.
100%.
Costa Rica not going to do much.
No.
Japan, technically a good team, but they just don't have that little extra to come up against the bigger teams.
It's like that word you used before, plucky. They'll be a
So
bit plucky.
that'll be the biggest game of the group stage, Spain versus Germany, the power
You think?
pack. Yeah. Who else would you?
Costa Rica, Germany's not a bigger game.
I'm thinking of all the
No,
groups.
Argentina,
group, I think
Argentina,
all the
Argentina,
groups.
Saudi Arabia is the bigger game.
But Fatty, you
In the
called
group, in the group.
But Fatty, you called it before, like where I just think that what separates the two is that lack of a regular goal scorer for Spain. Who's going to score the goals? You don't have a top talent.
Yeah,
there.
whereas with Germany, you got Gnabry, you got Sane, who's very explosive as well
100%.
and skilled. Muller, who the guy scores with his fucking anything,
Yeah.
pokes, whatever. He throws his fucking leg out and he scores.
Rudiger at the back is strong too. So,
Yeah.
Talking about big games, Group F.
Yeah, Fadi did mention the phrase for this group. Was it tasty or spicy when we talked about these groups? It is an interesting group. Belgium, Croatia, Morocco, and Canada.
Yeah, look, to me, it's another one that personally
It's
is a bit
open.
obvious.
It's open, like
You reckon?
yeah, and I don't know, it's unpredictable. Like it's
I think Group G is a lot harder than Group F is. But let's focus on Group F.
Find this,
What part do you find
I don't know, Morocco.
juicy?
I don't know, Morocco, quite an interesting squad, and big news for them. Hakim Ziyech is back in the squad. He quit the team.
Yeah.
A few I think when they qualified, he quit the national team. And I saw the squad; he's back in, so that's really big news for them. Canada, coming off the high of a great qualification campaign, but I don't know if Alphonso Davies has picked up an injury if he's going to make it. But that's a big blow for them.
I read he was injured. I already copped an injury, but I don't know if it's anything long term.
And Belgium, Croatia as well. Like that's tough to call.
To me, Belgium's one of those teams who
This is their last chance.
can go really far in the tournament.
This is their last chance.
No,
but
you know what?
We've
For
been
me-
saying that for the last 3 months.
I said this to someone the other day. To me, Belgium is a Holland 2.0. A fantastic squad that just can never achieve international success.
Semi-finalists of a World Cup is not a small
But
achievement.
that's
Yeah,
not,
but
that's not an achievement. You
But
haven't
this
won
is-
anything.
this-
And to be fair, that's their only.
But that's same.
Quarter-finalists in 2014.
But it's like saying Holland 74 and 78.
This is their last chance. I think this golden generation. This is their last
the
chance to do
greatest,
anything.
you could, Holland comes under arguably the greatest squad to never win a World Cup.
Yeah.
And I feel like Belgium is along that path.
Yeah.
The last 2 World Cups ago, for example, when those players really started coming through, on paper, unbelievable,
And
unbelievable fucking squad.
Like Adas said, this is their last chance because this generation, it's not like they're in their peak.
No.
Who would you say? Like De Bruyne is, but just about everyone else is on the wrong side of 30.
Lukaku, Hazard,
Hazard
Your
not the
mate.
player was.
course.
Mertens is 34. De Bruyne is probably the only one playing
Lukaku.
football.
Vertonghen as well.
Tottenham's past it.
Yeah, if you're talking
the
about
keeper's average.
Better hell this morning, but anyway.
yeah, we were just talking about
We're
it.
just seeing it, yeah, and looking at that.
The interesting thing about this group, what I was saying before is, let's say Spain and Germany go through, Belgium and Croatia go through, they verse each other in the round of 16.
That's going to be a great round of 16 because you're talking about great matchups. Possibly Spain, Belgium, or Spain, Croatia, Germany, Belgium, Germany, Croatia. Any of those matchups are tasty.
Yeah.
They're all fucking. It'll be very, very good to watch.
Yeah.
Let's see them knock each other out before they get there.
These guys excited.
Germany, eh?
Wishes they just played Saudi Arabia for fucking 6 games. To get to the
We
final.
talked about it already, but Mario Götze back in the squad, of course.
We said that already.
We mentioned that about 4 times, but I think he just might. I think,
I was going to bring that up.
I just think it was a big call. I saw it like, wow, he's back.
but you actually told us that you saw it and you said, "Wow."
I did. I saw the squad, and he.
No, but you said that already on.
And then on the show.
I think he just wanted to rub his nose in it a little bit. Johnny, did you know Mario Götze back in the squad?
Have a heart, bro.
Wow.
Mario. No.
He comes late.
Super Mario. Anyway, just for betting's sake, Belgium are favourites to top the group at $1.62, with Croatia second at $3.25.
And then who's
Very, very interesting.
and what Morocco and
So
Canada?
can we go back to Group A? We didn't do it. Ecuador or Senegal? Who's favourite to lead the group?
Apologies.
So obviously Holland will be first.
Very tight. Ecuador $5.50. Sorry, to qualify. My apologies. Ecuador $2 to qualify. Senegal $1.83.
So Senegal favourites.
Senegal are just tipping
Just.
them to make it, which for me, I'll tell you now, Ecuador is good money to qualify
Or $2.
at $2, double your money, and Germany to top their group at $2.
What about Morocco to get out?
Oh, so
Morocco and Canada, what are their chances?
Morocco and Canada. Morocco $3.30 to qualify. Canada $3.75.
So it's very close. It's not as
Yeah, it's
one
touch and
side.
go.
I
But
think Morocco.
but
can-
Belgium and Croatia $1.12, $1.36.
I can
clear
score a
favourites.
surprise.
Very
I
close.
don't- for some reason,
You're very confident about this.
I feel like the World Cups these days do tend to offer upsets and surprises.
So you think this
Yeah,
trip will
look-
be the big surprise for
And
him?
plus, this is like unique, and that's right in the middle of this club season. Teams only 1 week. to
You're
prepare.
expecting something just
So
out of
I
nowhere.
just feel like Morocco. They're a decent side.
Just tell us which one, I'll throw money on it.
I reckon Morocco comes second in that group behind Belgium.
What?
You said that.
Put it.
Bro,
I don't know. I just.
$3.30
I'm very
Morocco.
surprised. Are you that? You're gambling with Fatty's money? I don't think.
they've got a decent. They've got some good quality.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm going to put a multi right now based on his predictions, and I'll tell you what it's paying. Okay, as you go, just keep talking. I'll just
All
add
right.
them.
To me, this is the closest group in the World Cup.
Mhm.
Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon.
Yeah, that's almost a repeat of 2018 when Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland were in the same group. So
Did you say USA were qualifying
yeah,
in that group?
I think you said
no, the group B.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Who would qualify?
yeah,
Not finish first.
England and USA.
USA. Okay, I'm just trying to pick the odd ones.
Okay,
What about Mexico, Poland?
Mexico.
He said Mexico to qualify. Okay, no worries. I'm picking the seconds here, not the teams coming first. Because we don't really disagree on that.
Spain finished second. He said.
Yeah, Germany first, Spain second. in that group.
And who to qualify in Group D behind France?
Tunisia.
Tunisia.
Yeah, remember? Yeah.
I don't know. Could be a
He
surprise.
sounds a-
that first game, Denmark. Tunisia.
now that the money, hypothetically on it, you
And who did you say? And who did you say?
I don't put money on.
He said Morocco
Yeah.
in Group F, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Group G.
All right, so Brazil to finish first in this group, I think.
But Adasi,
Yeah.
I think Switzerland will finish first.
No, Brazil. No. Too far, man. Too far. Brazil and Switzerland.
We laugh now, but imagine the World Cup comes around and Morocco killing it, Tunisia killing it.
This guy wants everyone to be knocked out, and it's Argentina to play
agenda,
fucking
don't-
Canada in the finals.
Talking this prediction, you think 20 years ago, 2002, who would have thought the big nations would have
Going up that, yeah. You're just anticipating something like that, eh?
Or 2006, Italy.
Yeah, and then 2010, 2014, Spain got knocked out, and 2018, Germany. It happens.
Fair enough.
Italy won in 06.
Sorry, 2002, South Korea.
Group G was once again Brazil. And who's coming second? This is going to be a tricky one.
I don't think anyone's going to doubt Brazil with the depth in their squad.
Yeah,
It's absolutely ridiculous. On paper, they're absolute favourites to take out the World
Yeah.
Cup.
I want to talk about that when we get to
Yeah, so do I.
Winners, because that's really an interesting one for me.
Well,
Serbia,
mean, they're
Switzerland,
different
or Cameroon? Who will finish second? I'm going to take a stab here. Do an Darcy, and I think Cameroon.
All right, I'm going to say Serbia.
I'll say Switzerland.
The Serbs have been very, for me. I don't think they qualify from the group. I think they're going to flop hard, and it'll be between Cameroon and Switzerland. And Switzerland is okay. They have some good players. Cameroon, I think, could spring a surprise.
That's why.
If they're hungry, I
fair
think they
enough.
could spring a
They
surprise.
would
I really like.
I'm gonna.
I really like the talent though in Serbia. I'm a big believer of Vlahovic.
Jovic as well. Do you reckon?
Jovic has started to come good for Fiorentina all of a sudden, but I'm a big believer in Vlahovic. You got Milinkovic Savic in the midfield. You got talent there.
Serbia knocked out Portugal. Switzerland knocked out Italy.
So yeah,
Anything could happen. I think it's a lot closer than some people might think.
I think
so
Switzerland.
it's going to be a tight group.
Adasi, who's qualifying behind Brazil.
Switzerland. I think they've got the
Switzerland
experience.
$1.83. Switzerland the second
Experience
favourite.
Granit Xhaka in midfield, and you got Jordan Shaqiri, who tends to always step up on the international stage for Switzerland with brilliant goals or and they got Dennis Zakaria as well. They had a good team, and in the Euros as well, they showed how far they could go with that good run they had back in Switzerland.
Group H. It'll be interesting once again because Group Gen H versus each other.
I like this group too. I think
Portugal, Ghana.
I think this is a tighter group than most
This
people.
is like a
Uruguay and Korea.
yeah, this is tough, man, because this is almost like a grudge match group because all these nations have grudges against each other from previous World Cups. So,
Ghana, Uruguay.
yeah, and
From
Portugal,
2010, Portugal, Uruguay from last World Cup.
yeah, Portugal, South Korea, 2002. Yeah, Ghana, Uruguay. Yeah, a lot of grudge matches there. So,
So do we think Portugal's going to top the group?
They technically they should. I don't think it's going to be as clear cut as most people think.
Yeah.
I think they might just like it'll be down to the last game.
If you're looking at on paper, they are clearly one of the most talented teams in the whole competition. You know, you got Cristiano Ronaldo, number 9, Rafael Lau on the left, who's become the best player in Serie A. You got talent all over there. Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva, but something about the team, you know, the information, the media that's been coming out. Ronaldo's clearly not the player that he was, you know, even last year. And you know, João Felix has talented, but
he's
inconsistent.
Yeah,
There's
in
something
and out of the Atletico team.
There's just something about that Portuguese team I don't trust.
I think Portugal will get out. And so
You're hoping for that, yeah.
Uruguay, but I'm hoping.
You think they're both going to miss out?
No, I'm hoping. But I think it's going to finish.
That-
It's going to finish like that. Portugal,
Cristiano
Uruguay,
Ronaldo
Ghana.
does worse than Messi. That's what he's hoping.
But I'm hoping first Ghana, second Uruguay,
Yeah.
third Portugal.
Yeah,
That'll
what happened? You never know
that'll
with
be
Portugal.
amazing. And then Uruguay, Brazil versus each other, knock each other out in the round 16.
So you think Korea Republic fourth?
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Son's past fit, so he's made himself available.
Doesn't mean shit.
You happy?
We're relying on.
Fucking gook. I think this group's going to be tighter than most people think.
What about
It's
Ghana?
not
Do you reckon
very
they've got a good chance?
Well, they got Thomas Partey on their team, right?
Oh, yeah,
So
of
come
course.
on. Of course, yeah. Look at that. Nice lineup.
The Ghanaians will be difficult to break down.
Yeah.
Solid team. They're solid. They're always a solid outfit. So
Yeah.
I think they'll pick up some points. Whether it's going to be enough, I don't know. I like Uruguay. I think Uruguay might surprise and finish
Valverde,
and top the
yeah.
group.
It's a good mix.
Go right to that
It's a good mix of players between senior players and youth players, and that
Yeah.
it's a good balance. Valverde obviously killing it.
Yeah.
Torreira's in the squad.
Yeah.
You got the experience in Cavani, in Suarez, in Godina. We spoke about Jimenez at the back.
Yeah.
The last one
Um,
surprise as well.
Mendes in the middle. It's a good squad.
You got Torreira, Bandocourt,
Bentancur.
Yeah.
Valverde. You got Darwin Núñez, Suarez,
I forgot about
Cavani.
Núñez too.
You got Godin, Jimenez.
Carrascaeta coming off the bench. If he start, unless he's starting from Flamengo player, amazing attacking mid.
You
For-
got
for me-
talent there, man. There-
For me, it's Uruguay. Uruguay will surprise people and top that group because a lot of the focus is going to be on Portugal, and I think that pressure is going to get to them a little bit. Uruguay tops the
Out-
group for me, and
yeah.
Portugal scrape second.
Out of the entire competition, the teams that I would love to see do very well, as in get to that semi-final type area, would be Netherlands, because we always want to see Netherlands do well, and Uruguay. Because of that talent, I'm a big fan of so many of those players. It'd be really interesting to see Suarez and Cavani go out really well, despite Suarez's past, indiscretions playing for
So
Barcelona.
no one's giving Korea a chance.
Oh, they might get a point here and there. Like, it's a tough one. It's a tough group to pick. Like, it's hard to say who's going to go through it. Everyone's got a bit of a chance, I think. So in Korea, they're a decent side. They're no pushovers, and they've had more players playing in Europe. over the years.
Besides Son, who do you think?
They've got a few that play
What's he going
in
to tell you? Tommy
Bundesliga.
and Sung, like they're all going to sound the same. What do you even know? You don't actually
No,
know
but
the
watching them
difference.
play, they're technically not a bad side.
Who finishes second in that group? Who qualifies behind?
I think Portugal first. I think Uruguay second.
So putting Uruguay here. Why am I
Fun
missing one?
fact about Portugal:
Why am I missing one?
before they made the 2002 World Cup, or maybe ask you a quiz, how many World Cups did they qualify
Group E, I haven't put in.
before making 2002? How many did they take part in?
1966.
Yeah.
And that's it.
In 86. That's all they.
86.
That's
It's
it.
close.
Who qualifies second in Group E?
USA.
No, E.
E. Sorry.
Spain.
Spain second.
I mean, I can't just put Spain to qualify. They're paying $1.08.
Yeah.
Like
You can do whatever you want.
they're actually gonna, like the TAB is gonna ask me to pay them
Put
just to put
Japan.
that bid on.
Put Japan if you want to.
All right, so just to give you a little quick one here, Johnny.
Yeah, if you go through Audaci's
Adafi's tips to qualify second in the group, not to top the group. Which are some outlandish ones. Ecuador from Group A, USA from Group B, Mexico from Group C, Tunisia from Group D. Group E I've omitted because Spain is too short. Group F is Morocco. G is Switzerland, and H is Uruguay. 7-leg multi is paying $360.
Wow.
So you can throw a cheeky $1,000 on that.
A cheeky $1,000.
Easy. Easy money. Easy money.
But
Let's jump to favorites to win the tournament.
I'm going to say Brazil and France and Argentina.
France.
Yeah.
So 3 winners.
One of the three.
So Spain, Brazil, Argentina,
Brazil, yeah.
and France are your 3 favorites.
Yeah.
Brazil, Argentina, and France.
Yeah.
On paper, as we said, Brazil's got to be the favorite there. The climate will help. They love playing in that fucking warm weather, samba style. So I think they'll do well. The Argentinians I tip to do well as well, to go far. How far? Sorry, John, I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
I'm with confidence.
I think Argentinians will get a good run. They're on the right side of the draw.
Mhm.
I think it helps. I think it helps a lot. Getting
It
through.
depends. If we finish second in the group and with us friends in the round 16 again, we're fucked.
Here we go.
So if you had 3 favorites, Fatty, Brazil, Argentina.
Who do you throw in there?
You know what? I'd throw in the Germans. I'd throw the Germans in. The Germans, I see semi-finalists.
Yeah,
at least,
so,
at least
Those are my 3.
Yeah.
I have quite a bit of optimism. I think Germany's going to do very well this World Cup.
Yeah.
On paper, Brazil's most talented team in the comp, followed maybe by Argentina, then France. Who knows? Mate, Brazil I'm starting to doubt them every World Cup. Tactically, there's a lot of undiscipline there. Looking at the Copa from last year, there's a lot of just take the ball on, attack the defensive line, and then we don't know what to do next. There's not much moving off the
So you're
ball.
saying they're not structured enough to go far in a World Cup.
And they're not talented enough to just let that talent go, get them over. This isn't Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Rivaldo. This, Vinicius is still fairly young, Rodrigo as well. I just, there's plenty of talent, but really, there's something about that team. And like we were talking about, I don't know, have we mentioned Firmino's exclusion from it? And I just think you're lacking that style of player up at the top, that unselfish player. And but then again, you do have Casemiro, defensive midfielder. You do have Marquinhos in the back line, Thiago Silva. So there's experience. You got Alisson and Edison for keepers. But to me, I actually think tipping Argentina to win the World Cup, man.
What?
It's
jinxed you, Johnny.
No one is giving England a chance.
No chance.
I think Gareth Southgate is taking them as far as he could.
Yeah.
And,
Tactically, I think he's inept.
Even if their team was twice as talented as the Brazil side, I would never.
I don't think tactically they're strong enough. In Europe, they went far in the Euros because there was a caliber of teams that was not there. The South American teams didn't exist playing in Euro, obviously, and I feel like England would struggle against the Brazils, possibly even a Uruguay. I feel like they'd struggle.
If you were saying Wales get out of the group and England don't qualify, I'll do an episode shirtless.
Shirtless.
Yeah, that would be a bit hilarious.
By the way, you haven't done that episode with the Barcelona jersey on, have you?
No, because it's past. It's expired.
What do you mean?
Remember how if Barcelona was going to beat Real Madrid or something, and then he had to wear a Barcelona jersey?
It wasn't about beating Real Madrid.
There was a bit.
It was something that he was supposed to wear the jersey, and then
it's expired.
They obviously know what it is because they're saying it's expired.
every week he was in fear of.
What was the bet about?
But how do you know it's expired then?
What a lie!
Oh, this guy, you better find it. I think you
Well,
need to troll through.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's on tape, mate. On tape.
back to the World Cup. What made you bring that up anyway? It's international football. Isn't that your break now to watch Netflix? Your words.
Wow. Here we go. Fucking fight. It's fucking shooting director at you.
Ask if Argentina win the World Cup, would this accomplish your goals as a football fan for your team's winning trophies?
Everything.
or is there anything else missing? If
What else is missing? World what? That's it.
I mean, you've seen Velas win Copa Libertadores, winning the Toyota Cup, Wanderers winning Champions League, Chelsea winning Champions League, Premier League.
Wanderers winning A-League.
Yeah, there's that.
So I could just kill myself then.
Yeah, like is that it? Like Copa America won the.
I can just commit suicide now. I'm done. I'm
You
happy.
say like
I can die happy, man.
as a fan, would that be the pinnacle? Obviously pinnacle, but like
He doesn't even want to think
I don't
about
want to
it.
think about it.
like,
He
yeah,
doesn't
that,
want
yeah,
to.
that.
Imagine if it's
Yeah.
Argentina, Germany again, mate.
Well, fuck him over this time.
Well, God says in the side.
So all eyes will be on that first game against Saudi.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it'll be all eyes on that because it'll be expected that they get through that. I think all eyes will be on once they're out of the group because they're expected to get out of that
If
group.
they get out of the group,
It's around a
first,
16.
How they
it'll be
perform there.
Australia, Denmark, or Tunisia.
You've got the good side of it.
So
Let's
that's
be
if he goes to plan, we'll versus Denmark. If you go through that, Holland.
I still think you can do them. I still think you can roll.
So,
I
you-
don't mind Holland.
Flashbacks to old matches.
I don't mind Holland.
Unless it was World Cup '98.
Yeah, that was a fluke control.
Look,
I blame Ortega for that.
We're going to talk about World Cup gold, man. We're going to talk about World Cup gold.
Ortega for that game when he got.
Like I said before, Messi's control against Nigeria was better than Bergkamp's against
please, honey.
Argentina.
Was that for a podcast?
My prediction.
Messi did it against some fucking Nigerian farmers.
World Cup.
Bergkamp did it against fucking Roberto Ayala.
World Cup.
And your fucking keeper, what was his name?
Carlos Roa.
Roa.
My predictions. I think my brain says Brazil, Argentina, and dark horse Belgium.
Ooh,
Mate, you say that for every tournament that you think Belgium's going to do well. Last
I think I
year,
have to put
The
something
amount
in
of
there.
people have called Belgium a dark horse since the last World Cup and Euros. The fucking guy, you think they're all fucking black. All dark horses every time. Dark horse, dark horse.
Well, no one's mentioning him, but
I've lost faith in
you're right in Germany, you're right in France. I just want to throw a different team in there.
why not?
Portugal then.
It's open.
Why wouldn't you?
But the two teams I want him to win least are England and Portugal. Anyone else can win it. I'd rather fucking.
Portugal.
And we mentioned before, this is the last World Cup with 32 teams, so
Yeah.
enjoy it while you can. Because then the next one's going to be 48. So
48.
And
So to you, Tunisia or Morocco are going to be the surprise of the World Cup.
I think they can get out of the group.
Okay, surprise of the World Cup for you. I'm going to call before you want to think about it. I'm going to call Cameroon.
Wow.
They got that striker Choupo-Moting mine. Yes, they're going to rely on him.
I guess.
I'll say Croatia.
I was just about to say the same thing. I was just about to say Croatia.
Is that a surprise? Because they were finalists. They finished.
No,
Yeah,
yeah, it is a surprise because they're 4 years older. Modric is fucking 38. Like,
And yeah, you asked a question, man. That's what we thought.
Yeah, but a surprise. I'm going to say Brazil.
okay,
sorry.
I'm gonna change. All right, Johnny, I'll change. My next surprise would be Uruguay.
Okay.
You are
All right.
okay.
All right, just looking at the fixtures, you think, oh, this game's coming up. You think you'd skip a few games. You look at that, oh, I'll watch that game. I might see that game. That's always every World Cup. It's like that. Like, Morocco,
Yeah, because
Canada.
there are going to be days where you need to fucking sleep.
Exactly, yeah.
So you're going to be like, fuck watching.
Qatar, Senegal.
But then what's coming up? You haven't slept. Oh, I'll just watch that game. It's just good
trust
luck.
me.
So you're skipping on Iran, Wales?
Probably, yeah.
I'm going to skip every Saudi Arabia game.
Even Argentina.
No. It's at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday, so I'm going to skip that one.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll watch that one.
I'm skipping on 95% of them.
Australia, Tunisia is Saturday night, 9 p.m.
That's
gonna be
Australia. That's Australia. We're going to watch all Australia's
I
games.
said one thing about international
Yeah.
friendlies.
good. Yeah.
All right, we'll do more World Cup topics and episodes, and we'll cover this a lot more as the tournament goes on.
Yeah.
But it's been a very in-depth episode of this World Cup. A lot of predictions. We'll come back to them and see how we went throughout the tournament.
Can't
And
wait.
if Adasi's $325 bet,
$360.
$365 bet comes off, if he does, you're a genius.
Oh, yeah, anything can happen. But,
I'll put $1,000 on it, and if so, I'll give you $1,000.
yeah,
Accept?
You can't accept
You
that.
can keep it. Then.
Wow.
On that night,
It's haram, man.
You can.
enjoy the World Cup. See you guys next time.